Onset, good evening viewers. In this tutorial, in yet another ICT tutorial, I'm going to be doing another practical chapter, ICT practical chapter number 5, and it is about information access and sharing. ICT practical chapter number 5. Yeah, if I open any search engine on my computer and then straight away I go to YouTube, this is my channel right here. If I click at videos, I'm able to see the videos I've done so far. So far, I've done 124 videos, and I've just been doing videos about ICT practical chapter at least for a month now. So there are 4 chapters that are available at the video, and they are all ICT practical chapters that run from Senior 1, Senior 2, and I'm heading to Senior 3. So Senior 1, there are 2 practical chapters of ICT, that is file management and word processing 1. S2, there are more practical chapters, that is Spreadsheet 1, electronic presentations, and then this one I'm doing today, that is information access and sharing. So these chapters are important to learners out there in secondary schools, in ordinary level, new lower secondary school curriculum. If you sit on a video tutorial, let's say, if a learner sits on a video tutorial of file and folder management, it means they have summarized almost the entire chapter of file and folder management. Yeah, it's compared to classroom studying, or even more than that. So these chapters, I've been doing them for the past 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and today I'm doing another yet ICT practical chapter. And just like how we've been doing, if you're seated on a practical chapter, have your book with you and then do some learning. Follow the steps I do, write down the notes, the definitions, and whatever I may say in a video tutorial. Like I said, the practical chapter is about information access and sharing. It is an S2 practical chapter, and it's going to close the practical chapters of S2 as I head to those of S3. In S2, I've already done Spreadsheet 1 and I've done presentations. Those are S2 practical chapters. I feel that the practical chapters of S2, and I'm also doing information access and sharing. And for S1, like I've said, I've done word processing 1 and file management. Those are the 2 practical chapters of the Senior 1 class. So straight away to the folder I'm going to be using, I'm having my PDF. My PDF I'm going to be using is right here, and I open it with Firefox so that I can follow the numbers we have there as I do whatever I'm going to do in this video tutorial. So like I'm saying, the practical chapter is about NLSC, New Lower Secondary School Curriculum, ICT Practical Chapter 5, Information Access and Sharing, and theme is Data Management and Sharing. So there's a note that in this chapter, or even after this chapter 5, learners should be able to use online and offline platforms to search for information. They should also be sorry about that. They should also be able to use internet wisely and use it to share information. So by the end of this practical chapter, you the learner should be able to use offline and online means to search for information. You should also be able to use internet wisely to share information to your colleagues and parents, sisters, etc, brothers, whatever community you may be living in. So some of the keywords we're going to be using in this practical chapter number 5 I'm doing today on the 23rd day of January 2026. Some of the keywords are going to include cloud, email, internet, network, URL, website, and some of the gadgets we need for this practical chapter. We need a computer that is connected to the internet, and we need an offline software we can also use. We can also need a school network or a network, and also we can require a search engine. So straight away, I'm going to the guidelines we're going to follow in the ICT practical chapter number 5, and the first guideline number 1 is it is introduction to information access and sharing. So an introduction to information access and sharing is right here. In our lives, we have received unwritten letters to friends. Yeah, that is true. We also generate information every day and share it in various ways. That is also true. Even at our schools, we have information about learners, academics, health, and so on. So, um, all this information I've mentioned can be shared in whichever way to different audiences. And in this chapter, we are going to learn how to use a computer and the internet to access and share information. I also, more introduction is many organizations today provide information needed by others, mainly via the internet. And some information can be provided offline using optical discs, especially CD-ROMs and DVD-ROMs, and sometimes people can use magazines and newspapers. So, a simple introduction is we have different information we generate on our devices, but we need to share it. Most of the organizations use online means, that is internet. Most of the people use internet, and some others may decide to use offline means like CD-ROMs. The CD-ROMs and DVD-ROMs. If I can search for them here on my computer, they are trying to mean optical devices, and they are just here. That some other people can decide to use CDs to disseminate information. That is an offline means, because for you to watch information or for you to read information on a CD, you don't need internet. So some people can prefer to use offline means to share information to others. So more of the introduction is after creating information, it should be shared so that other people can access it and can also use it. That's also important there. And a simple definition of information sharing, if you're noting, like I said, these practical videos I'm doing, they require you to follow the steps I do while you're noting down, of course, something in the book, because in the end of the day, we should have the theory chapter in our books. Some apply to the videos I've been doing here. So if you've watched a video about file management, a video about word processing 1, a video about spreadsheet 1, and a video about electronic presentations, it means you should have those chapters in your book, the theory way. However much you're seated on your computer and you're watching me doing some steps, you also need the theory notes. That's why it's important for you to note while watching these videos. You pause the video, you note. You rewind, pause the video, note, etc. etc. So these videos are going to be very important to learners in this year 2026. Learning is getting digital. So if you're a learner out there, think about it. You can sit on a video of 1 hour and 14 minutes or 2 hours and 4 minutes, and then you summarize the entire chapter in your book without even stressing with the blackboard and classroom. Yeah. So we can note this. So straight away, we are going to note the meaning of information sharing, and I'm still at number 1 as the introduction to information access and sharing. I'm going to be using this PDF to move through the video, and the PDF is going to be available in the video description. So feel free to download it and then you follow or move along with me in this chapter, practical chapter number 5. So information sharing, this is the exchange of information between people and organizations, and could be done through certain systems or electronically. That's the meaning of information sharing. And then we head to number 2, which is information access. Before we get the definition of information access, how do people in your area access information? A simple question. You could say they could access information through newspapers, through chats, through groups, etc. Because information is always available, but in one way or another, we need to share the information to different people. So, um, straight away we can go to the meaning of information access. That information access is the ability to identify, Retrieve. Retrieve can mean searching. The information access is the ability to identify, retrieve, and use information effectively. That's the meaning of information access, and I hope the definition is with you there. So traditionally, information has been disseminated in a variety of formats that have been widely accessible, often through public libraries, and many individuals also relied on other people and the media for information. Here, we're saying that information has been accessed through libraries. People go to libraries for information. Libraries are going to have books. Yeah, if I need information, traditionally or the old way, people can go to libraries to access information, and we can also rely on other people for information. But the advances in computer technology have changed or have revolutionized everything, in that information is got through the internet. People nowadays, instead of using the libraries, we just use internet to access information. So that's important there. And in computer, being online means connected to the net. If I'm online like this, it means I'm connected to the net. I'm online. And being offline means being disconnected from the internet. So that's the meaning of the two words right there. I hope you've also noted that. Straight away, number three, offline information access. So, like I've said, the meaning of offline, that offline is a state of not being connected to the net. That is offline. When you're offline, you're not connected to the net. Yeah. And being offline at times, your information could be outdated, and also you could not get a lot of information if you're offline. So nowadays, there are computer programs which can be installed to allow users to access a lot of information without even having internet. Some of these free platforms include Britannica, Encarta, dictionaries, etc. etc. So we are saying that nowadays some of the softwares can be used to access information even when you're not connected to the net. Like Encarta Encyclopedia can be used to access information even when you don't have the internet with you. So Encarta Encyclopedia is right here. It can be used to access information offline. Yeah, even Britannica, even those other dictionaries you could have on your phone, you can access information there without the internet, you know. And mine is right here. I'm having this Oxford dictionary. If I need to search for information, I could just open it and then I search for some English words without even being connected to the net. So it's what we're trying to say here. And if I continue here, I can say that these programs have offline databases within them where that information is stored for you. So, like the dictionary I'm having here, like I've said, I don't need internet, and I could even search for words here without internet. Why? Because that English dictionary already has a database of a lot of English words stored there. And whenever I search for a word offline, I can get it provided it's in the it's in the database of that dictionary. Though I may not get a lot of alternatives or responses, but they are there. Some of them are there. So that's how offline means work. And straight away, I can go to Encarta Encyclopedia. I was at Encarta Encyclopedia that Encarta, though it is no longer produced by Microsoft, some of the versions of Encarta are there. For example, we have Encarta 2008, 2009, 1998, like this one, 1997, 1995, 1996. The versions are there. They were made some time back. And the simple definition of Encarta is basically an offline information search platform. Yeah, an offline information search platform containing information ranging from text, videos, and images, and also sound files. So that's the meaning of Enkata encyclopedia. And it was used some time back by learners mostly to search for um, information, even when they were not connected on the net. For example, we have this here. Maybe there's a learner out there who studies history and they were using Enkata to search for Nelson Mandela, the South African, who was once a South African president sometime back. So they search for that man and they get information regarding him even without internet because that information is already stored in the database of Enkata Encyclopedia. Yeah, and that's how things used to work. You get at least some responses without the net with an offline means of communication. So in this case, you can obtain Enkata Encyclopedia on your computer lab. It's free. It's on the net and it is free. You could just search for, you could just pin download Enkata Encyclopedia, and at the website here, this one, I could download Enkata Encyclopedia. It's just there. This one is the latest version, I guess. Yeah, 2009. I think it was the last version that was released. And I can download it from here if I at all need to use it on my computer. If I'm offline, let's say. So Enkata is right there. If you need it, you can download it and use it on your computer. So back to the guide I'm using. I'm at number 4 using Enkata Encyclopedia. More information about Enkata is Enkata was distributed using DVD-ROMs. It was sold on DVDs. You get a DVD or a CD with Enkata, install it on your computer, and then you start using it without internet. Because the moment you install Enkata on the computer, you've installed the entire database of Enkata Encyclopedia on your computer, and whenever you're searching from that database you've installed from the CD on your computer. Though it is just limited to only that database, it had, of course, results that would pop up if you search for something that was there. So Enkata is an offline means, or was an offline means of searching information, and was a collection of digital multimedia. Multimedia, they are talking about videos, text, audio, etc. And it was published by Microsoft from 1993 to 2009. It contained variety of information in form of text, videos, images, and sound files. Yeah, and from March 1993, the Enkata Encyclopedia was sold on a CD and was available in many languages such as English, German, French, Spanish, Dutch, Italian, Portuguese, and Japanese. A user would just buy a CD, insert it in their computer, and search for information they wanted from that Enkata Encyclopedia. It was later supplied on DVDs and became widely used by students, individuals, and businesses. Yeah. So with time, an online version of Enkata was created in 1998. I think those are 27 years back. In 1998, and users accessed it through a website after paying a subscription fee. So it got online in 1998, and users could pay a fee to access it. But in 2000, the online version was available for free. Microsoft decided to discontinue Enkata in March 2009, and all websites were closed in all countries by December 2019. That was, I think, some 6 years back. So Enkata, though it is outdated because of the evolution of internet, but some people could still use it to access information. There are people who don't easily access the internet and they need to search for some information. So that Enkata Encyclopedia is available for you out there. And I've already given you an example with my computer. I mostly use this Oxford English Dictionary to search for some English words, even when I don't have the internet on my computer. So straight away at the guide I'm using, I'm heading to number 5, and that is information sharing. Yeah, the meaning of information sharing. Number 5, not forgetting, I'm doing ICT practical chapter 5, and that is information access and sharing, and it is similar to these 4 practical chapters I've already done, and they are available on my YouTube channel. They're going to be very helpful in the year 2026 because a learner will just sit on one video and then they summarize the entire chapter that would have been taught in class for over a month. You can summarize it in 2 hours or even 1 hour, and then yeah, things could be flowing your ends. So even this video I'm doing, it's number 5, the fifth practical chapter. As I head to the practical chapters of Senior 3 in the coming months of February and March, I'm going to be doing Senior 3 practical chapters, and I guess the Senior 3 class has all the 4 chapters and they are practical. Yeah, um, running from word processing to spreadsheet to electronic databases, publications. Those 4 Senior 3 practical chapters are all requiring hands-on. I want to be doing them in the coming months of February and March 2026. And they're going to be very helpful in this year 2026. So these ones I've already done are important to learners of Senior 1 and Senior 2 who study ICT in Ugandan secondary schools. So I'm heading to number 5, I guess, and it's information sharing. Information sharing. How often do you share the information you have? And what media or tool do you use to share that information? Imagine you have a spreadsheet that users in a different company need. How would you share that spreadsheet? Imagine you have a photo and your friends need it. How would you spread that the shot or the photo to your friends? So if you have an answer there, yeah, you can give it to me. Um, so still at number 5, information sharing. Some simple questions I'm having to you. Importance of sharing information. How is it important to share information? If you have in your book, you want to note down this importance of sharing information. Like I said, the videos, they are more about noting down. Have your book and a pen so that you can note down whatever I say, because in the end, you need notes about these chapters. So, importance of sharing information. So, number 1 is um, sharing information helps people to make informed decisions. Whenever you have information shared to you, you can make an informed decision. For example, um, if they share information to you that tomorrow, the 24th day of January 2026, the road to Bombo is going to be closed. Yeah, if you get that information shared to you, you change your plans, you make another decision, and maybe follow some other road. So it helps people make decisions. That's the first advantage. 2, sharing information helps to enhance innovation and growth because people can research about what others have done before the challenges faced and possible solutions. Yeah, it helps to enhance innovation. It brings about innovation. If someone shares to you some information about maybe how their business runs, yeah, it's going to bring about innovation. You can also copy that and take on the challenge. That's number 2. 3, it helps to improve service delivery to customers and hence retain them. For example, your customers are going to feel happy when companies share information on how to load maybe data bundles. Yeah, you improve on the service delivery. 4, it helps to improve the welfare of the society. For example, when the Ministry of Health shares information on how to avoid AIDS, yeah, people are going to to get to know that, and then welfare is going to be improved in the society. So those are some of the importances of sharing information. You have internet at your school. If you need more points, you can search on the net importances of sharing information. Yeah, if I could search for importances of sharing information here on my computer, I can add a tab and then I search for uh, importances of sharing information. So the main importances: stronger collaboration and teamwork, accelerated learning. So you could search for more of the importances of sharing information, and then you can get them if you need more points there. So back to the guide I'm using, I'm heading to number 6, that is online information access. I'm following the guides, the numbers I noted down. The PDF is going to be available in my video description. Feel free to get it and follow that. If you're able to make notes about all these points I've noted, it means you already have the entire chapter, information access and sharing. You already have everything in your book. So it's important to follow or move along with me. So number 6, it's about online information access, and this refers to searching of information from the internet. That is the meaning of online. It's the opposite of offline. Here, instead of using offline, means you're searching information from the internet or from the international network. Yeah, and the primary purpose of internet is to facilitate access and sharing of information. Yeah, that is the primary purpose of the net, or the major purpose of the net is to facilitate and uh, share, access information. That's the major purpose of the net. So that's going to take me to number 7, and it's having how the internet works. How the internet works. I'm heading to that number 7. Before I go to number 7, identify any two devices that people use to access and share information online. Do you know any of those devices? Give an example of information people can access and share online. Do you know that? Mm, and also, do you know the meaning of a web server? Do you know how internet works? Anyway, that was a by the way. We got to how internet works. You're going to know the questions I've been talking about previously within the video. How internet works. Having known the meaning of online information access, and also we know that internet is an international network and it is worldwide, and it is connecting computer networks together. So how does it work? Now, to connect a device to the internet, you need an ISP, an internet service provider. So to connect your device to the net, if you see mine here, for example, if you see mine, if I need to connect to the internet, yeah, I need an ISP, an internet service provider, like MTN Uganda, like Airtel Uganda, yeah. And an ISP is a company that provides internet services to individuals and companies. And also your computer should also have a web browsing software like Internet Explorer or even Microsoft Edge, so that you have internet on your device. So I'm still under how internet works. Next up is every device that connects to the internet is assigned a unique address by the ISP. So whenever you're connected to the net, you are given a unique address. Okay, let's say whenever you're connected to the net by any device, be it a phone, a laptop, a desktop, you're given an address, a unique address that is not the same as the other person's address who is also connected on the net. And this address or this name is called an IP address, an Internet Protocol address. Yeah, if I could search for IP address, what does IP address mean? It's just an Internet Protocol address, and it's a name that is assigned to every device that is connected to the net, and that name is assigned to you by the ISP you are using. How does it look like? In most cases, they're just numbers. They're just numbers that are assigned to a computer that is connected to the net so that you can easily be identified when you're online. So, an IP address identifies every computer uniquely on the internet. The same way, each learner in a school, yeah, has a unique name. Also, the internet works almost like a postal address or post office. Back then, people were using post offices to move letters along, where letters are simply moved from one place to another, no matter where they are from or what messages they contain. The job of the postal service is to move letters to their destination addresses. For the internet, the sender and the receiver IP addresses play an important role in getting the message delivered. In between the sender and the receiver computer, there are many other computers which play different roles. Some of these computers simply direct data to the destinations using the most convenient path. These computers are called routers. So, IP addresses, these names assigned to computers that are online, they work like postal offices. Now, back then, people used postal offices to transfer data. People used postal offices to transfer data. Like this one here, Posta Uganda. People received letters through these post offices. Yeah, your letter is having the address it should go to, no matter the information that was in that letter. The most important part was the letter was supposed to go to the actual receiver. This person was supposed to actually receive it. Yeah, because that letter had the address it was going to. However much these people received a lot of letters, thousands of letters, they made sure that the letter was supposed to go to the address that was indicated on it. Even the computers, if a computer is connected to internet, it can't have an IP address. Why? Because um, it should have a name so that it can easily be identified when online. If I'm receiving a message from computer Q and I'm computer Z, computer Q is going to first locate my IP address and then I want to receive that later. Because if that IP address is not available, the other computer may find difficulties to send that message to me. Yeah, and the IP address is making that easy because it is bringing about that visibility on the internet. I'm seen, I'm identified by the unique name. So that's how internet works. That is just a simple explanation about IP address and postal offices. Think about this. If computers didn't have IP addresses when online, it means they would not easily be identified. Yeah? Or I would receive a message that is not even mine. I would mistakenly receive a message that is not mine because I don't have an IP address. I'm not uniquely identified on the net. So it would happen. So that's how the net works. And um, more ISPs in Uganda, apart from MTN and Airtel, we have Rock is an ISP, provides internet connection to Ugandans. Smile Communications, etc. So a router. If you've been on internet, you've if you've been connected to the net, I guess you've ever heard of this router. You've ever heard of router or you've ever seen that device that is called a router. Now, a router, it's a networking device like you studied that in S1. A router is a networking device that is used to connect multiple networks. It is used to connect multiple networks, and in this case, the router connects the school network to the network of a given service provider so that your school can access the internet. So router does that, and um, routers they are just they come from ISPs. They connect our school or your school to internet through a given ISP, and that is how they work. So that's the meaning of a router. And also, if you could make research here, some of the advantages and disadvantages of internet in school, please do so. Some other information, if you're noting down, is a news group. Note down this, a news group. This is it's going to offer a forum for people to discuss topics of common interests. News groups, they provide a forum or a platform for people to discuss topics of uh, interests. News groups, yeah. And also telnet telnet is used to log on a remote computer which is attached to the internet. Telnet enables us to log this telnet. It enables us to log onto a remote computer that is attached to the internet. Yeah. If you use any other computer that is attached to the internet without physically going to that computer, that means Telnet is the tool behind that. Internet Relay Chat, IRC, Internet Relay Chat allows people from all over the world to communicate in real time. Yeah, and Internet Telephony, in brackets VoIP, VoIP, allows internet users to talk over the internet using any PC equipped to receive a call, like a WhatsApp call. Internet messaging offers real-time chat between individuals and groups of people. For example, Yahoo Messenger and FTP file transfer protocol enables users to transfer files online. And lastly, video conferencing or video teleconferencing is a method of communicating by two-way video and audio transmission with the help of telecommunication technologies. If you're making notes, please rewind the video and then you get to write whatever word I say, because it is very important in the definitions I've been talking about. So those definitions are also important in this chapter as we go to the next number, that is because I've been talking about ISPs and some of important terms there. I'm heading to number 9, and that is web browsers. Under web browsers, a vast amount of information on the internet is displayed via the World Wide Web or the web. The World Wide Web, yeah, the www, is a collection of websites accessed through the internet. Back to the net I'm using here. If I search for www, yeah, that means it is a collection of a lot of websites, yeah, collection of a lot of websites that are going to be accessed through the internet. Internet has a lot of websites under www. And of course, the websites are accessed by people. For them, they just stored on the net and they're updated right there so that people can continuously access them when they are online. And a website is a collection of related web pages. The first page on the website is called a home page. Each web page has a unique address, commonly known as a uniform resource locator. So, here we are saying that a website, because we have just said that www is a collection of a lot of websites on the internet, but there's that term website. Now, website is just a collection of web pages. Yeah, the internet has a lot of websites, and the first page on a website is called a home page. And each website is going to have a unique address that is called a URL. Let me repeat this once more. www is a pool of a lot of websites. Yeah? And the websites are accessed by people who search for them online. Now, what is a website? A website is just a collection of web pages. Yes, and um, what of the first page of a website? It is called a home page. And here's the main important thing, a URL. Each website is identified by URL because I've said internet has a lot of websites, and to easily identify the various websites, they should have names, they should have unique addresses. Just like people are many in the world, people are maybe identified by their names. Yeah, however much the names could even be the same, but people are identified by their names. Even websites, they're identified by URLs. A URL. URL. If you've ever searched and you've seen this structure here, something like this structure, that means it is a URL and it is a name or a unique address of that website you are searching for. So this URL is going to it's going to be stored on the net, of course, in the www, so that it can easily extract and look for the website you're trying to search for on the net. So we are going to dive deeper into a URL. We're going to know what really the URL is and the parts of a URL. So a URL that is under web browsers, because web browsers always work with URLs. We shall get shortly the definition of a web browser. But let us first get the meaning of a URL. Now, a URL is an internet address that identifies the location of a file or particular information on the internet. Full stop. So that's the meaning of a URL, and I've just said that a URL looks like this. It looks like that. And it contains a technique of identifying the computer and where the information or the document is located around the world. So whenever you're searching for a website on the internet, of course each and every website has a URL. So this URL, it's just an address that identifies a file or a website or information on the net. And it has a technique of showing us where that information is located from the world. Yeah. Take an example. If maybe searching for let's say New Vision, New Vision Uganda. Yeah, maybe I'm searching for New Vision Uganda, and then under all, there is this website of New Vision Uganda, and right here under the website, there is this URL that runs from https stroke www stroke newvision.co.uk. It means that the New Vision website has this URL, and the URL is helping me, the user, locate that website on the net that has a lot of websites, and it also has the technique of showing me where that website originates from right here. CO means company, UG means Uganda. But this is a company in Uganda. Yeah. So that is the technique with a URL. We can also note down the meaning of a web browser in our notebooks. you settled on this video. Noting down is key, like I've said. Web browser, the meaning of a web browser, it is a software application that lets you find, access, and view websites and related content on the internet, yeah, by getting information from servers and displaying it to you as text, images, videos. So the web browsers are going to use URLs to locate information like websites on the internet and um, displays it to you as text, images, or videos on the device you are using. So an example of a URL, I've just displayed it to you here, https www.newvision.co.uk. It's an example of a URL, and um, to, to, to help you easily locate information on the net, a URL plays a key role right there. And also, some other important information is here that web browsers, they're going to store the first part of your address, which is https stroke www. In most cases, web browsers, https stroke www. In most cases, web browsers help us store the first part of our URL so that our searches are made easy. Now take a look here. If I'm searching for New Vision, yeah, the web browser is going to use a URL to locate the New Vision website. But a search engine is going to make that work easy for me. The search engine is going to store the https stroke www. It's going to store that. I don't need to type the https up to www. What I need to type is I need to type only New Vision in the search engine so that I can get the results of that New Vision company. But a browser is going to use the entire URL structure to locate information. However, a search engine is going to store https stroke www, and for me, the user, I'll just type the English one to return the results I may want. So, examples of web browsers include Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome. Those are web browsers. And these web browsers have parts. All search engines have parts. Whenever you're searching, you have the back, forward, navigation part. We're going to see that with time. So I can go straight to I can task you here. You can open a browser on your computer and then try to browse for some information. Let us use the New Vision website. Try to browse the New Vision website and then try to see the URL that you get when you search for that New Vision website. For example, I can search for New Vision. So internet is going to use a URL to return the New Vision website. So try to copy that URL. You can use this. I can click here, then I can copy this, Control A or right click, select copy, go to Word, and then I can decide to paste the URL in Word right there. So I can paste my URL in Word, so it's right here. Don't mind about the many letters and numbers you're seeing, just mind about what we see at least at the first line. It is very important there. So the structure of a URL is going to look like this: https stroke www, and then the company name. So that's the URL, and that's how you can extract it after you have searched. So you can search for other websites and copy their URLs. You see how they look like on the computer you are using the method I've just done there. And also, to enjoy using a browser, you need an internet tool called the search engine to help you quickly get information. So instead of using a browser, a search engine is recommended. Why? Because I've just said that a search engine is going to store this for you. It's going to store that for you. Yeah, it stores that for you. This information is stored for you. You don't need to type that. What you need to type, you need to type a keyword, you need to type what you're searching for. New vision, let's say, and then you're going to get your information. So search engine makes work kind of easy like that. So at the URL still, the most important parts of a URL you can note down. The most important parts of a URL, I can search for them here. URL parts. So whichever URL you may extract from your browser, it's going to have parts. For example, the first part of the URL is called a protocol. It's called a protocol and it's the HTTPS. That's called a protocol. The next part, www, is a subdomain where all websites are stored. The protocol, of course, is the internet protocol that enables us to search, and the www is the subdomain where all websites are stored on the net. And also, the next part is the root domain or the domain name. Um, and the domain name could have the name of the website you're searching for. .com is the top level domain. We have the subdirectory and the path. To summarize this for you, you see there are many parts of the URL. There are quite many based on the image I'm using. But to summarize this for an S2 learner, we can search for URL major parts so that we know the URL major parts. Um, the URL major parts include the protocol. I've already talked about that. After the protocol, we go to the domain, and after the domain, we go to the path of the URL. So back to the new vision URL we're using, I think it's here. HTTP is the protocol, www domain, newvision.co.ug path. So that is a URL, and so more of the search engines and the URLs. Before we continue with that, let us get the definition of a search engine. We've already got the definition of a browser. So the definition of a search engine is a program that searches for and identifies information in a database that corresponds to a keyword or character specified by the user. It is used especially for finding particular sites on the net. The search engine is going to use a keyword to locate information on the net. Note that I've already said a search engine makes work easy for us. A search engine stores this part of a URL for you. You don't need to type this part of a URL. What you need to type is the keyword, and then you're going to get the results you need. Unlike a browser that requires all the URL structure. So a search engine, it's going to based on a keyword to return information from the net. And search engine examples include, we have Bing. Bing is a search engine. We have Yahoo, it's a search engine. We have DuckDuckGo, it's a search engine. Yahoo, I've already talked of Yahoo. We have Google, it's a search engine. The browser is Google Chrome. The search engine is Google. So etc. There are many search engines that are used currently in the world of IT. Um, Information that is important when you're using the search engine backward. Backward is this arrow here. If you're searching and you need to get to the previous website you've been searching for, before closing the entire browser, of course, the backward slash is important. It rolls back web pages available. The forward slash is the opposite of that. The forward slash is used to roll forward of the web pages available. The refresh button is also important. It is used to make the web browser reload if you have cases of internet connection or speeds. And home button is used to redirect the user to the home page. The home button always uh, pops up when you open uh, a browser for the first time, just like that. That is the home, the home interface. The close button, it's right here. If you're quitting, you can close. New tab, if you're adding a tab, you close a tab and then adding a tab. It's important to use many tabs instead of just one. Like this one has my YouTube. If you want to add a tab, maybe I'm searching about a school, Crested Secondary School. Yeah, I add a new tab and I search for maybe that school, Crested Secondary School. So we add tabs like that in a browser. We also have HTTPS. It's the protocol or scheme used to access resources on the internet. HTTPS it's just the first part of a URL. I've already talked about that. And also we have www.newvision.co.ug. This is a domain name or the host name. This indicates the name of the website that is being accessed or the host that holds the resource. Um, you can use any other active URL to demonstrate parts of a URL to yourself. So a URL has parts and depends on why you're searching for information. Feel free to go to the net, use that very computer you're using to search for a URL and then see the various parts of that structure that is that's unique that's not uniquely identify web pages on the net. So you can do that as your research work right there. So having seen the meaning of search engine examples and the web browser with the examples, that is number 10. Straight away I'm going to go to number 11, which is having the search techniques. The search techniques. So whenever you're searching, you need some techniques. Before we go to the search techniques, a quick tip. While you're using internet, if you open Chrome for the first time, in a day maybe it's going to display the home page, and um, this is the address bar right here. This is the address bar where you can decide to type what you're searching or where your URL is visible there. And here you can access Google Apps. Right here, you can access Google Apps like Maps, News, Gmail, Meet, Chat, Contacts, Drive, etc. This is the search box here. This is a search box. You can type the keyword here when you want to search, and then you press enter. Yeah, and these ones are the maybe the websites the user has been accessing uh, recently. Yes, that's how you can study your search engine or your browser on your computer. So back to the search techniques. It's important for you to know the search techniques at number 10 because if you have the search techniques, it means that you're not going to find challenges locating information on the net if you have the search techniques. And note that whenever you search anything, the blue headings on your page are called links or hyperlinks, and you can go to a particular page by clicking in those links. That whenever I'm searching for anything, the blue um, links, yeah, for example, I'm searching about let's say Twisted again, Twisted secondary school in Kampala. If I'm searching about the school, Crested Secondary School, the blue links you see, yeah, they are called hyperlinks and they can help you go to a particular page by clicking at them. So if I click at these blue links, let's say this one here, if I click at that blue link, it's going to take me to the website of the school, and then I can see whatever I want at that website. So I can scroll and then I see more about the school, Crested Secondary School, Kampala, Makindye. So I can see each and everything about the school right there using the blue links. Okay, and identify the number of searches um, and time taken for the search. At times you see the number of searches and time taken for the search, and then be keen to read the words that are just under those blue links. They are very important words that you could see under the blue links. So for the search techniques, searches can be refined so that less time is spent while searching for information on the web. It is important for you to know the search techniques. For example, if you're searching about computer literacy in Uganda, yeah, don't just go to a search engine and then you type computer literacy. Yeah, if you're searching about computer literacy in Uganda, don't go to a search engine and then you type computer literacy. It's going to be hard for you to locate the information you want. For example, if you're searching about sports in Uganda, don't go to the computer and search for sports just because you won't get the information you want. Rather, it is important to type computer literacy plus Uganda in the search engine. It is important for you to type sports plus Uganda in the search engine so that you can get the information you want. Sports, I can put plus Uganda. It's where I can get the sports in Uganda. You see, the information is now different. I'm getting the sports in Uganda. These are AFCON results for Uganda. Maybe you want sports in strictly Uganda. That's what you're going to get. Sports in Uganda. Yeah. But if you don't add a plus Uganda and then you just search for sports, you're going to get some of the sports you may not even want. This is Sky Sports England, etc. etc. There is nothing like Uganda. Maybe you could find that in the pages at the bottom. Yeah. So it's important for you to type correctly the information you need so that you take few minutes to locate what you want. So that's a search technique that's important to you, the S2 learner who is studying information access and sharing. Okay, so after us knowing the search techniques straight away, number 12, it is the technologies used to share information on the net. I'm going to look at the technologies that we can use to share information on the internet. For example, email. We're going to look at email mostly as a technology we can use to share information on the net. So if you don't have an email account as a learner, you need to have one. What you need is only a phone number and an internet connection. Yeah, a SIM card and an internet connection so that you get an email account for yourself. Ask a teacher around the computer lab in your school to help you generate an email account. If you have one, you're good to go. So, technology is used to share information on the net. Sharing of information can be done in a number of ways using various technologies. These are several technologies that support electronic information sharing, for instance, email, social networks, cloud, Bluetooth. I don't know if Bluetooth can be considered as um, a means of sharing information on the net, You can eliminate Bluetooth because Bluetooth could not even require net to share information. So here we are going to use emails to share information, and straight away email. Yeah, as you go to email, it's important for you, the learner, to note whatever I say in this video tutorial because it is part of the theory you need. It's part of the theory you need to come up. Of course, when you're watching this video, you need to come up with your notes as well. So it's important for you to note everything I've been saying in the previous videos I've been doing, the ICT practical chapters. So sit down, watch a tutorial, and then you write notes. Have the skill of writing notes. You can even use these videos to generate the notes making skills within yourself. So I've not only been doing ICT practical chapters. If you're new to my channel, I've been doing a couple of videos, and I think there are over 124 videos. This is the 125th video, and I've been doing a couple of videos. This is senior 5, the sample practical question. This current the senior 5 class that is heading to senior 6, the year 2026. This video is important to them. Approach for UNEP 2025, item 1, important to S4 learners currently. Textbook is here. All level practical ICT textbook available with support materials. It's available there. Wakisha ICT theory paper 1, old curriculum video is there. Resource A-level. I've been doing a number of videos that are available at the channel, and they are all ICT related videos. So the channel is important from right the senior 1 learner to the senior 6 learner. The senior 1 learner also has a couple of videos they can follow at this channel. For example, we have assembling a desktop computer. It's important for a senior 1 learner. So there are a number of videos I've done at my YouTube channel, and still I'm doing a lot of videos in the current year 2026. So back to what I'm doing today. I'm doing ICT Practical Chapter 5 and its information access and sharing, and straight away I'm heading to emails. The meaning of email. Email is an acronym for electronic mail. So with email communication, the sender and the receiver must both have addresses. The email is sent through a network or the internet. An email message can contain text, images, and file attachments. Instead of writing a message on a paper and taking it to a recipient, you can type the message and send it to the recipient using email. An email can be sent to one person or more people at the same time. Yeah. So an email, if I could go back to my search engine and then I search for email. So email, if I use image, let me first use images and then I type email address. So for people to use emails, they both need to have an email address. And I've said an email address is an acronym for electronic mail. For those who are getting to hear this for the first time, I've said that instead of writing a paper and sending it to a recipient, you can use an email. If you both have email addresses, you can send an email from one person to another. How does an email look like? Or structure of an email? I'm just at number 12 where I'm searching about, I'm explaining email, the structure, the Google account, Gmail, and the email service providers. I want to be talking about that. So, how does an email address look like? If someone has an email address, it means it's going to be looking like this. If I search for email address parts, yeah, it's going to be looking like info@gmail.com. gmail.com. Okay, let me use my example. kasozimavin@gmail.com. A username, a separator, and a domain name. Don't confuse email with URL. I've already talked about URL in this very video. The two are different. So email is now electronic mail, and this is an email address. It's going to have the username. Mine is kasozimavin, separator at the domain name gmail.com. Yeah. Um, and an email address has three main parts. I've already displayed them: username, separator, and the domain name. And they are arranged in that order. They are not altered with. So, learners, at this moment, you need to have emails. You need to have personal emails. If you don't have an email, make sure you get one, get a SIM card, and get internet connection. Ask your teacher in the lab, and then create an email for you. So I've already talked about the major parts of an email. You can also generate an email address using the major parts. For example, your name is Kato Robert. Your email could be kato@gmail.com. Username, separator, domain. Yeah, mind that. So back to the guide I'm using. We've seen the structure of an email, then on to Gmail account and email service provider. For those who have an email already, if you have an email, how do we log into the email? So if you have an email, we simply log into our email by opening a search engine, and then we can type something like Gmail login. Gmail log in. If you already have an email and you need to log into your email, open a search engine and type Gmail log in. Press enter and then search under all. I can search for Google account, sign in, I can click at it. My email is here. Then I can type my passwords. After typing my password, I can click next. I could just confirm the code for security reasons. And then I click at next. So it's just a two-step verification. The password is not enough. The second verification is the code I've received for security reasons. So this is my email, and my email address is kasozi17@mri.sc.ug. The username is kasozi_m17, the separator is @ and the domain name is mriu.sc.ug. The most common domain name is gmail.com. Gmail.com. After opening my email, I can go to Google Apps and then I go to Gmail here so that I can land into my inbox. Okay, this is my inbox, and it's of course the email I've opened. So straight away, email service providers. There are several free email service providers. For example, Google Mail, that is Gmail, provided by Google. Email services are provided with free storage capacity of 15 GB for use to store files and images within Google Drive. You can link to Gmail through www.gmail.com. So whenever you get whenever you get or whenever you create an email, you get 15 GBs free. You get 15 GBs free, and you could just see that from Google Apps and then Drive. Your Drive is going to show you the space all the cloud storage you already have. Yeah, and mine is right here, storage. Okay, so my Gmail is, I mean, my drive is already here where I upload my, my files I use, etc, etc. So I've already used 1.18 GBs out of 15 to store my files online. So that is it with email, logging into your email, Google Drive. As I go to the next chapter, those are some of the email vocabularies that I used, meaning of keywords of email accounts. So the meaning of keywords, number one is sign up. What's the meaning of sign up? Sign up, it's what I was doing. Sorry, I was not signing up, I was signing in actually. Sign up, for some of you who don't have email accounts, sign up, you should sign up for email or create an account. Sign up means registering your email account details as a new user. Registering for the first time, that is sign up. Sign in or log in, it means opening your email account using your account details, username and password. It's what I've done. Log in. Sign out and access to your email account when done viewing information. Log out is always here. If I want to log out, I click at my icon here and then I click at sign out. It means end access to your email account when you're done viewing information, of course. Yeah. Next up is compose. Compose means writing a message, and inbox. Compose it just here at new, back to this, and then Gmail. I think I already had Gmail. I think it was already here. Anyway, let me do it again. Gmail. Like I said, compose means writing a message. If I want to compose, I click at this. Yeah. I click at this and then I'll be able to write a new message to someone. So I put someone's address. Maybe I'm sending my email to kato@gmail.com. I write it there and then I put a subject, maybe greetings, and then I write some information and then I send. So that's the meaning of compose. Inbox. Inbox is just a folder for keeping incoming messages. A folder like this for incoming messages like LinkedIn messages, Apple, Google, GoTV, etc. So those are some of the few terms with email. We shall see more of the terms with email. So creating an email account. I will not create an email account in this tutorial, but I'll give you the steps that will help you create one for yourself. So if I need to create an email account, what do? I follow some steps. Let me first log out of my email. It's important for you to always sign out of your email for security reasons, for your information and etc. etc. It's important to log out of your email. So I've logged out of mine and I can close this, I can close this, and I can close this so that I remain with only the tab that had my channel right there. So signing up means creating an email for the use for those of you who don't have an email address or email account. You need to have an email account through generating an address for yourself. So signing up requires you to have internet connection and at least the same card. So if I need to sign up, this is what I do. I open any search engine and then I type Gmail sign up. Gmail sign up. Then I can click at create a Google account. Yeah. Then I go to create an account. Yeah, so after landing at that, I simply click at maybe use another account. Yeah, and then I click at create account for my personal use. So you type some information there. For example, I can type Mase, maybe my first name is, I could have Babirie Mase. Then next, I just follow some steps. Babirie Mase was born on October 20th. The year is 2000. Gender female. Next. So you just provide the information through the pages, and then you're getting suggestions for your email, for your email address. If you want this suggestion, you go with this. You see, you already have the username, bavidemase482. Separator is there at, the domain is gmail.com. Next. So you confirm your password. Maybe my password is right here. And then next. Yeah, here it's where you get your phone number to confirm that you're not a robot. You get your phone number, you put it there, mining the country code, and then continue with the steps to simply create your email account. The rest of the steps are just easier. Confirm you with SMS, etc, etc, and then get your email created for the very first time. So that's very important. It's important for you to have your email, because emails uh, they enable us to receive messages and send messages to people on the net. So by clicking agree, you agree to the terms and services of the email service provider. If you don't always agree the terms and conditions of the email service provider. So if you have the phone number, it means you can move along and finish the steps. If you put your phone number right there, you'll be able to continue with the last steps, confirm them, and then have your email account or address created right there. So once you have an email address, you can compose, send, and receive email messages, and straight away we are going to compose and send an email message. So if you already have an email account, if you need to sign in, because sign in means you already have an email address. So signing in is right here. I just confirm, I click or type my email address if it is not saved in the computer, and then I put my password. I click next, and then I just log into my email, and then I go to Gmail so that I can compose and send an email. Now, composing means writing a message and sending it to some other person who has an email address. And once you have successfully logged into your email account, like me here, you can view the received messages in your inbox, compose and send messages. So I can view my messages here. I can even compose. If you're not seeing some messages, you can try clicking at importance here, and then you see whether you'll see your messages right there. So we are going to compose a message at least, and with compose, like I said, we just click at compose, and then we type the receiver. Maybe I'm sending a message to Florence Namugerwa 26 at gmail.com. Yeah, and then greetings, and then I can type good evening, madam. This is just a message from her from my YouTube tutorial. So just sending a message from the YouTube tutorial, and then I can send to her. So sending and message sent. That's how we can compose a message using email. So composing can also move along with attachments. Instead of just composing a message, you can decide to use attachments. Instead of just sending hello madam, you can go back to the same person, Florence, let's say, even some other person. If I have some other person here, Edward Kawere, is it? Yeah, I can send a message to Edward Kawere, and I can put something like documents. Yeah, and then I can attach means instead of just typing, maybe receive the docs or the documents. Instead of just typing that information, I can decide to attach here in a file from my computer. Maybe I'm sending them a document from my computer, and the document is maybe this the PDF. Open, yeah, and the document has been attached here and it's 94 KBs, and then I just click at send, and the document is going to be sent to that person. That's how you can attach a document to an email instead of just composing. So some of the parts of the new message window, when you click at compose, if you click at compose, some of the parts you find there, we have a two. Two means you type the email address of the recipient or the receiver there. CC means carbon copy. If I click at CC, it means whatever message I'm going to be sending is a carbon copy, and you are sending a copy for their information, and you want everyone to know that they got a copy. So carbon copy, you want everyone to know that they got a copy. If you're sending a message to various people, everyone will know that the other people also got copies. So blind carbon copy is the opposite of that. You can click at this to make it. If I don't want this, of course, I can just go back to compose, and then I click at blind carbon copy, and of course the email accounts. And then blind carbon copy means you're sending a copy and you don't want the other recipients to know that you sent a copy to other people. So that's a blind carbon copy. And the subject of the email message is a short summary of your content. Maybe you're sending an academic document to someone. It means you go to compose, type the email address of that person. The subject means the summary of what you're sending, maybe academic documents. And then you type greetings, you attach your academic documents from your computer. So that's how subject works. Message body, this is where the message is written here, where you see the cursor that is blinking. And the signature, back to compose, the signature is right here. If you want to attach a signature, it's right here. There are more other icons. For example, if you want to insert files using your drive, you can use this. Attach, we talked about it. You want to insert a link, emoji, etc. You want to delete or discard a draft, you can use that. So after email, at the guide I'm using, we are heading to, of course, I've looked at compose and sending an email plus attachments, parts of a new message window. So it's going to take me to the next level of cloud computing, and I think it is just number 16 of the guide I am using. So as I head to cloud computing, if you're a learner out there, like I said, noting down is key. Make sure that you're noting down everything I'm saying, opening up an email, composing the new message window. You should also be able to send an email to someone. You can send an email to me if you've seen my email address. You can send a document to me. You see whether you can do it while following the steps I've been doing in this tutorial, and you've noted down the steps real perfectly in your box. Next up is number 16, which is using cloud to share information using Google Drive. So cloud, heading to cloud. What is cloud? Have you ever seen or heard of a person who was able to restore all messages and documents on a new phone after maybe selling the old one or after replacing the old one? Now, this is the work of cloud computing. If someone is able to recover all the information in case their phone is sold or lost, it means it is a power of cloud computing. So, meaning of cloud computing. Note down, cloud computing is the practice of using a network or remote servers hosted on the internet to store and manage resources. The resources can be software and files. Cloud storage cloud storage services can be accessed worldwide and provide more storage outside your computer. So, if you're able to store information outside your computer, that means you're doing cloud computing. For example, mine here, if I'm able to store information outside my computer, because this information is stored on the cloud, not on my flash, not on my hard disk, but it is stored on the internet, it's stored outside the computer. It means I did cloud. Even if I lose my computer, I'm going to simply log into my email using some other computer, and then I access this information right there. For example, this one is practical chapter 4 guide. Yeah, it means even if I lose my computer, I just go access internet, open email, and get the guide of chapter 4 because the information has been stored outside my computer. It is stored on the net. That is the meaning of cloud computing. Same applies to the other person. Even if they lose their phone, or even if they sell their phone, they'll be able to recover their information that was on the old phone while using cloud computing. Take an example. If you have your phone and you store your contacts on the drive, yeah, you store your contacts on the drive, let's say, and you lose your phone, it means you're going to get another phone, open your drive, and access all your contacts there, or chats, or videos, whatever. So that's how cloud computing works. I hope I was clear with that. After knowing the meaning of cloud computing, information stored in the cloud can be accessed at any time, anywhere, using any device in any location with internet access. You can create, edit, and share documents. One good example of cloud computing and online storage is Google Drive. Google Drive is a giant there. Dropbox is also an example there. So here you're able to know how we use the drive. Like I've said, if you're logged into your email already, just go to the dots here and then click at drive. You'll be able to access your drive on the computer. You can see files there, you can upload files there on the drive, etc. etc. If you want to upload a file on the drive, I just go to new and then I click at file upload. Select any file. Let's say I want to upload this and then I go to open. It's going to be uploaded on my drive on the internet. If I want to upload maybe a folder, use this, upload a folder. Yeah, that's how the drive works. If at all you don't, if at all want to delete a file from the drive, simply use this and click at delete, and it will be moved to the trash from the drive. So you can also use drive on your mobile device the same way I'm displaying it here on the computer. So examples of cloud computing services include iCloud, that is for iPhone, OneDrive, we have Dropbox, Hightail, and then IBM Smart Cloud, etc. etc. Hope you've noted there. Advantages and disadvantages of cloud. One, the first advantage is worldwide access. When you're using cloud storage, you can access your documents from any place at any time around the world. In other words, it has no geographical boundaries. This increases productivity and allows faster exchange of information. Two, more storage. With cloud storage, you do not you do not quickly run out of storage space because the data is not stored on the hard drive of your computer, but rather it is stored on a server in the cloud with unlimited storage space. Three, advantage of cloud. It is easy to set up your cloud. You can set up the cloud easily. You just need to contact a cloud service provider and an account is created for you with any amount of storage space that you want at a reasonable fee. You can easily use cloud. Automatic updates. The cloud computing provider will automatically notify you when updates for your resources are available and provide you with instructions on how to install them. Also, the last advantage I can offer to you here is affordable. Many cloud computing applications are available for free. For example, Dropbox. Others that require payment are also relatively affordable or cheap. So cloud computing is cheap. It's not that expensive. If I can search for here for this, how much is a GB on Google Drive? How much is a GB on Google Drive? Um, yeah. So here they're saying that it is 0.02 per GB. It's just cheap. It's not even $1 to purchase a GB, and 1.99 is it 1.99 stock month for 100 GB. If I could dive into this, how much is a Google Drive GB? Each how do I get 100? How much is 200 GB on Drive? So you pay this monthly for 100. Is it Google One also offers a 100 GB plan? Imagine 100 GB for just $1.99 monthly. So it's relatively cheap to use cloud computing. So if you want more advantages of cloud computing, simply use that computer in the computer lab. I know there's internet there. Dive into advantages of cloud storage and then see whether you can get more of the advantages of cloud storage if those I've given you could not be enough. Straight away, I got the disadvantages of cloud storage. Security is the first disadvantage, and with cloud storage, the data is essentially stored on a server that belongs to a third party. Imagine the server you don't even know. This brings about a security concern because the data on a server may be attacked by a virus. This may occur because the same server is used by other people in the world you don't even know. Privacy. There is no possibility that data stored on the cloud may be accessed and used by unauthorized personnel, especially people steal passwords, so you don't have privacy there. Loss of control. If for any reason the cloud service provider ceases to operate or stops to operate, then the client risks losing all the information stored on the cloud. Or if the client fails to pay, then he or she is denied access to the data stored on the cloud. So you don't have control. Maybe if I have my data on a flash, I have control over that flash. But if the data is on the drive, I don't have control because the service provider can decide to close or internet can be shut down in a country. It's why you don't have to access your information on the drive. So you don't have control with information. And internet reliance. Cloud storage only works if you have internet. You have to always rely on internet to use cloud services. So those are some of the importances of cloud and the disadvantages of cloud. That is number um, um, is it 16, actually 17 of the guide I'm following in this practical chapter. So make notes or research about cloud computing uses, how it's useful in a school, hospital, and in banks and other sectors. How is it useful? Having seen the advantages and disadvantages, and now it is operated on my computer, I've displayed that. So straight away, I'm heading to using computer networks to share information. That is number 18 of the guide I am using.